Is the extreme hype around building your own website with artificial intelligence real? We're going to know in a couple of minutes. Today, we're going to build a commercial project. Maybe you have a campaign, you need to build a landing page. Maybe a client told you that you need to have a first draft of something that he can actually click more than an image. Or maybe you just want to learn how to do it. Today, we're going to go from the necessity, the concept, to the actual finished product. So in this video, you're going to be seeing my personal concept, project, and research ways into most of the stuff that I do, including the production of prompts. But we're going to make stuff a little bit different because we're going to be comparing the output of the different kind of platforms. We're going to be using ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Lovable, Google AI Studio. Yes, we're going to be using several tools. We're going to compare the output, but to be perfectly fair, I'm going to teach you how to go from your idea to the research to the building of the prompt, and we're going to give the same prompt to all of the AI engines. In that way, you're going to learn how to prompt, how to research, how to develop, and we're going to be fair on the comparison. So the first thing I want to do is I want to explain how does a website work. Simple HTML, nothing crazy, so programmers, you can go away. So the first thing that you got to know is that a website is basically a bunch of code, bunch of lines of code that you got embedded into like a document. This document, the web browsers like Google Chrome are able to read. So when they go and connect to the document, they're able to read this document. How do they know where the document is? Well, they have something that is called an URL. This is like your .com, anything that is like your phone number. And the place that it is stored is called a server. So that's like a folder somewhere in the world in a computer where this file that you got here is stored inside of. So this is the address, like the place, the physical place where this thing is. And this right here is like the phone number. This is basically the way it works. And here, there is you, clickety with the website. That's it. That's the main concept that you gotta understand today. Why? Because most of the time, when we say that we're going to build a website, we don't have the slightest idea what it is. How is it gonna work? How I can extract those files and put them online so everybody can see them. So you gotta have an URL, which is this thing here, and you gotta get a server. The server is like a folder. Somebody is going to charge you money to store those files and give them to the world. And behind this, there is a lot of complicated stuff that we're not going to talk about today. We're going to try for the artificial intelligence, the LLM engine, to give us this bunch of code. We're going to copy this bunch of code, and after that, we're going to go into a browser, meaning any Explorer window, and we're going to read what the LLM gave us. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. For today's exercise, we're going to be making a sports-based landing page to offer photography and video services for athletes. So that's an actual commercial project, and I'm going to do a few concepts, and I actually wanted to record myself doing it and teach you how to do it. So this is my preferred LLM to generate ideas. I got here my ChatGPT, and I'm going to write anything that I need to do in this project. I need to build a website, a landing page where I'm going to offer photography and video services to athletes, particularly volleyball. So what I want is a very dynamic sports action page that it is appealing to the athletes and their fathers and the clubs. So the services are photography for athletes in studio, photography for athletes in the actual game, which is called action photography. After that, we're going to have also video profiles for the athlete where we can show stats. We're going to apply that concept to another product that we have, that it is landing pages for athletes. So that's another product that I want to offer. And one more that I need to offer is personalized, customizable merchandise. So if somebody wants to have like their face, their photo, or a composition into like sweaters, hoodies, we can do that for them too. That's basically the service. I want the page to be into a concept of speed, velocity, high tech, but also very dynamic sports ESPN kind of style. A sleek, dark background. This is the request that it came out of my mind. But what I want to do right now is I want to take this and turn it into a proper prompt. So how do I do this? I actually have the prompt system, the knowledge base for the prompt system available, and we're going to use it to be able to build a proper prompt, a prompt that is going to communicate in a proper way with every one of the LLMs that we're going to be using today. This prompt is very easy to understand, and it is composed of several parts. The first one is the role, the second one, the specialization, the third one is going to be the general task, and a few other sections. This is my main formula for the master prompt. And as you can see here, I have a bunch of stuff. You can learn how to use all of this when you make my personal specialization on prompt engineering. The idea is for you to learn it, to learn how to use it. So now I'm telling it what I want to do. So as you can see here, he's using the master prompt formula to build me a prompt that I'm going to be able to give to each one of the LLMs. So now, with this simple dictation that I did live out of the top of my head, now we have a really specialized prompt. Just one more thing. I'm telling it, please clarify on the website that it's only CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. So this is all like static code that it can just work anywhere. It doesn't need like React. And that is, the file must be downloadable and usable on a static server. Just plain old HTML 1990 like a psychopath, okay? But that's what we want, because that's what we're going to be actually able to use, copy-paste in the easiest way possible. And this is what prompt engineering is going to help you to do, to get a really, really detailed prompt that is going to help you to develop the best visual and style outcome possible. So now that we have a proper prompt, I'm going to copy the code right here, and we're going to make a new ChatGPT, and I'm going to paste the prompt that he gave me. Of course, that in every one of the engines that we're going to be using today, I'm going to fast forward the video. So we're just going to be seeing the very well. And now we have a simple landing page that we can go and preview that ChatGPT has given us. So as you can see here, this is not quite very good, right? Besides that, it has serious limitations on the amount of lines of code that it can do, as you are seeing here, is not the best one to create what I'm asking for. And this is the code that it gave us. Basically, you can copy paste it to any kind of file, and you should be able to run this without having to put it on a server. You could just put it on your computer, and it should perfectly open without any kind of problem, because it is a static file. I'm going to copy the code, and I'm going to add it to an HTML file that I'm going to save inside of my computer. And you can actually just go and say open with, and you put your browser of preference. And as you can see here, he is doing this directly inside of my computer, but you're going to need to put it inside an actual server to be able to send it to somebody else. So as you can see here, not a very good website at all. He tried. I'm sorry, ChatGPT, this is not a good website. Let's go to the next LLM generator. So again, I'm going to copy my main code, and we're going to go to the next one, which is going to be Google Gemini. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paste the same prompt for the tools, the same thing that I did with ChatGPT. I'm going to add Canvas into it so he's able to give us that nice preview. The same thing that we did the last time, we're going to be seeing what's the outcome inside of the engine, and then we're going to create an HTML file and run it that we can actually compare. So remember, there are more powerful tools like in ChatGPT Codex, or you can use Google Anti-Gravity, but I'm not a professional code user. And if you're watching this video, I guess that you're not either, and you just want to learn how to make a freaking landing page simple and fast using some kind of artificial intelligence. But this is the actual reason for this video. It's because I have been getting calls from a lot of colleagues that say, I see a bunch of influencers online showing their screens, saying that just 1, 2, 3 click and you can just finish any project that you're doing. I'm trying to do it and it's not working that way for me. Can you help me? But it doesn't work like that. It's not just 1, 2, 3 click. You got to know what you're doing and you got to have some idea of how this works. So that's what we're doing today. You can take a look at this, and this is right out of the batch, very, very different from what ChatGPT built. It was much, much faster. It has these very nice, very cool kind of animations. He did a couple of things on the background, like images that I can easily replace. This is going to work much better when we move it into a static landing page in our own server. So now basically what I'm gonna do is come here and take all of that code inside of my computer. I'm just going to create a new file, going to paste it, and I'm going to save it. Instead of the same file, I'm going to say Gemini.html. So this is the one that he just made. So take a look how it works differently. So that's Gemini output for you. And this is ChatGPT, what we got from ChatGPT. So now we got two. This is Gemini and this is ChatGPT. And this is going to be a blast. Let's go with the next one, which is going to be Claude. I'm going to copy the same code that we're using for everything else, and I'm going just to tell it to build that landing page for me. Really simple, really fast, and let's just see what Claude is going to be building. All right, so the code is done right now. As before, I'm going to copy the code and I'm going to create a new HTML file. If he did it like I wanted to do it, he's got to just give me a file that is going to basically work inside of my local machine without any kind of problem, right? And there you can see the page that he built in styling kind of stuff, pretty 1990, right? Everything is like really compressed, nothing really special at all. So yeah, you could do something with it, I guess. He didn't really make any of the background placeholders. Take a look at these ones right here, for example. And this is what he came up. So there you got Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude, which is fantastic and wonderful. And let's try another one. Now let's try Lovable. Lovable is an app that everybody says that is wonderful and spectacular for this kind of projects. Again, let's give it this prompt. Take a look. He's asking me if I want React or Tailwind or what I want. I want a static HTML file. He's telling me that he wants to build it on React and Tailwind. So it's not really what I'm asking it to do. So that's really important, right? He's giving me a plan. I'm not going to read that. I'm just going to hit approve. And now let's take a look at what he can come up with. All right, so here's my final solution. Here is the final setting that he's giving me right into each one of the different sections. Basically, very straightforward. As you can see, it's much better in design, based almost all of the same in design and the style that all of the other gave me with the same kind of prompt. The problem is that when I go to see the code, if I see the code, what can I do? for him to give me the possibility to get this into an exportable HTML file. So one trick about it is tell it that he needs to compile all of the code and give it to you in a single file structure that you can download. And I have 0 free credits and I couldn't do it already. So for the time being, I guess that we're going to have to judge it from what he did. That is this, and we can actually compare it to what Gemini did, ChatGPT did, and Claude did right here. So as you can see in these developments, we haven't got a very nice result. It's more hype than anything if you get a proper programmer or somebody that knows a lot about this kind of stuff behind one of these engines. But what about you and me? What about the people that don't know how to do any of it and just know some prompt engineering? Well, this is the way that I will do it, because this is the way that actually is going to get you much better results. We're going to use one of the more powerful tools that we're going to be seeing today, which is Google AI Studio. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new project right here for the Gemini 3 Pro preview, which is their most powerful system. And I'm going to put it in Angular. And I'm going to say build. Okay, so this is the work that Google AI Studio is doing right now. And as you can see right here, it's much better than all of the other, right? So everything is beautiful. It has some kind of real relevance to it. It has your beautiful sections, and you can actually come here and see it by device. So if I take a look at it here, it's looking actually very good. And we have a really nice, smooth motion animation. And what I'm going to say is I want my sections to have more dynamism while keeping the content still for my project, but with better copy, descriptions, and places to display my content as services. And now take a look at that. This is a very complete project that you can see here. We have some kind of photo. We have a little bit of descriptions in every one of the services. He actually made the service description right here. So I only got to put like the system or the sample or the video inside of the content. And basically that's it. Visit the store if you get up, and you have here some very nice placeholders for your portfolio on the latest work, even video and photo selections. So I guess that this is really, really, really good, right? This is better than any other ones of the one that we were using, even in the motion, in the code, in the way that it is working. But how about we want to take this and take it out and run it any way we want? Maybe you want to do a presentation with something like this. Maybe you want to use it to go into your local machine, and you don't need to actually do it, put it on a server, display it on a server. How can we do that? Is this thing is building with a bunch of library and Angular and TypeScript and a bunch of stuff that you don't understand. As you can see here, the code is really, really for you to deploy into an actual server. I'm not a coder. I don't know how to deploy anything. So we're going to give it a couple of more instructions. Please refactor the current project into a standard static structure. Provide the code for 3 separate files: index, style, and scripts. Use vanilla JavaScript only, no framework or external libraries. Ensure all images use the placeholder URLs from the config or add them into the folder for download. The CSS should handle the kinetic angles and TypeScript styles, and the JS should manage the smooth scrolling and scroll reveal animations. These must be ready to upload to static server. So what I'm doing is I'm using all of the advantage of the system, and I'm telling it, please build this same thing that you gave me, but I'm going to need you to do it for exporting to a static page. I need this to be a static page, and that's what I want right now. And he's going to make an analysis of what he needs to do to be able to accomplish this. So take a look at all of the stuff that we have been doing today, and all of the content and all of the different techniques that we have been using. This is the one that I like the most. I know that there are people that are very high for Claude, for Lovable, for other platforms that are out there. But for me, this is the best way. It seems like Gemini really understands what you want. And the second thing that I like about it is that it has some kind of visual understanding about the design. So it gives you the opportunity to do this kind of stuff. And as long as you know the verbose, as you know how to ask for static elements that you can actually download, you can make usable projects. Look, a very, very junior coder could build something really impressive with this. Because remember that here we're just building a simple landing page, but after that, if we want to deploy this and send it to a client, for example, we're actually going to need to go in and replace these images and replace these videos with their own stuff for you to be able to handle the design and not having to compromise the design because you don't know how to code. This is a very good way of achieving a landing page that is going to help you have a project very fast, very quickly, and basically Gemini or Google AI Studio is going to create those files for you. Here you can see him creating and compiling all of the code into 3 files that you can actually run inside of your computer, or you can deploy in a simple static server. You could do it in GitHub for free if you want to create a public link. And all that I have to do here with this static folder right here is I have to download it. So how do I download these projects? They have here a download a zip file where you can download the entire project once he's done. And you can download here. I'm going to download that. So now I have it on my computer and I'm just going to take out the static folder because I'm not going to use anything else. I don't have anything installed in my computer. So allegedly, when I open this with my Google Chrome, it works beautifully as if it was built in any other kind of very powerful system. Actually, it works better than it was working inside of the actual Google AI Studio because the browser is reading it as it should. And let's take a look at the final test here, which is going mobile. And as you can see on mobile, is beautiful, is well built, and every single piece of copy is built, everything works, and now anyone with a little bit of knowledge of coding in HTML and CSS can accomplish something like this. So take a look at the difference to what we did with all of the other engines and what we accomplished with Google AI Studio. For me, this is the best solution for non-coders to use a very powerful coding platform and turn it into a static, simple HTML solution that anybody could use. As I always say, AI technology is not a replacement, it's a companion. And all of the creativity, all of the necessity, all of the project, everything that you need has to come from your head. So remember, enable these tools inside of your company, inside of your business, because as I did this one that it took me 5 minutes, you can make 20 more, get them to your clients working, send them a simple link, get them in a meeting, show it to them by sharing your screen, put it on a simple static server. That's going to take 0 investment for them to click on it. And you can have a real commercial product that a simple junior HTML from India, Latin America, Ukraine, Mexico can help you finish. And that's it. And you're done. And this will be a great approach for any other kind of project that you got to do inside of your business. So now you know. Follow me for more. I have a lot of stuff on my channel and I'm going to be posting this kind of in-depth tutorials on how to achieve really useful stuff that you're going to try and they're not going to work. Like I showed you, they didn't work before, but here you have something that you could actually have for a commercial grade solution. As I always say, be creative, be good, and I'll be seeing you later.